Hi, where's the camera? There it is. Hi. I don't need these for this. Hi. Hello, I'm back. Well, I'm back. I just wanted to film this to give an update on what's been going on. Because things are going on. I'm not completely disconnected from things here, but I've been really busy with stuff that is not related to this. So I should say I'm working a full-time job now, full-time. Um, and I was not doing that before. And it turns out working a full-time job means you really don't have that much time to do things. Not to mention if it's a job that takes a lot of energy, it makes it harder to spend energy on things outside of that work. I'm sure anyone who's worked on creative stuff and also had a job, which is most of us because creative stuff does not pay money, um, you know what it's like. So yeah, I'm that's where I am right now. I do want to say I mentioned I had a project I was working on last video. I think I mentioned that that is partially complete. I completed the filming, but turned out the audio did not turn out very good, and so I might have to re-record a lot of it, and that just is not very fun. And then I also needed to go and get more footage, but I think I ran out of time to do that because the season changed. It's now fall. So that's great. In other news, I outlined a whole movie script. Outlined it, I did not actually write it. And then I got some feedback on it and decided it's not quite where I want it to be. So I need to also go through that and kind of like take the core elements of what I like and then transition it over to something that's a bit closer to, I think, like what I envisioned that it could be, or even like what the pitch of it, like the prompt would kind of make you want to get out of that. So, because like I can write a script on something and it can be a pretty good script, I think. I can make a full story. But sometimes I tend to get distracted from what the original pitch was and for the what sort of film this is, I think I need to stay focused on that original pitch because that's where the oomph is gonna come from. Um, so yeah, there's that. I'm always getting work done on my writing projects. For my big fiction project, I really want to get started on the actual writing. Um, I think I'm getting really close to being able to do that. I will say there was one project within the overall project, like one book that I'm considering if I should actually take out of that and make standalone. Um, the reason for that is that like I really like the magic in the story, but the story I would want to tell with that magic doesn't really fit the place that I think the story should hold within the larger universe. So I'm gonna have to figure out how to deal with that. Um, Maybe it's good to have compromises, but I don't like to compromise on ideas that could be really good. What else is going on? I mean, I'm always coming up with new ideas. Things are always happening. For filming projects, I had an idea for a project I would do for the main channel. And this is separate from the film. I do want to make the film. Like, I'm not going to write a script and then not do anything with that. So, the intention is to follow that through and get it made. I can say it's another horror film, so I think I'm becoming the horror film guy now. The horror film guy. I mean, I've only made one film, and this would be the second one, so it's not like that's my thing. But I'm just finding I really enjoy exploring ideas around horror. Um, which is an interesting balance because for me it's like not it's like a very specific thing about horror that attracts me to it. It's more the idea of like things that you can't quite describe or like forces beyond your control, like you can't uncontrollable forces that are you're subject to, or like um just kind of cool ideas. Because horror for me is all about cool ideas. That's the genre where you see things and you're like, oh, that's cool. That's really cool. Like when I watched the movie Sinners, which is a movie about vampires, and I saw the vampires doing vampire things, like the whole like, oh, you can't invite a you have to invite a vampire in for it to actually go into your house, things like that. I'm like, oh, that's cool. It's cool. Or like the hive mind that vampires can have. Not all vampires are like that, but anyway, it's I like cool ideas. So when I'm making a film, that's what I want it to be. And if I'm writing a film and I start with a cool idea, and then it starts to become something other than a display of that cool idea, that's where I feel like I've gone too far. Because it's like, sure, you want to tell a story, you can't just have a cool idea and then that's it. Like you need an emotional attachment in that story to make it work. But sometimes I get way too bogged down on the emotional attachment and forget the concept that I began with. So yeah, I still need to get a lot of work done there. And then the other filming project for my channel, that one, um, I cooked on it, but it just isn't quite there. And the other thing with me with my creative projects is that I need to, for one thing, I need to feel excited about it. Like it needs to have something in there that makes me like, oh, ooh, that's gonna be cool. Like when I made Filming Hole, the horror film that was filmed in a storm sewer, like the exciting part of that was, oh, I've never seen a horror film in a storm sewer. That sounds really cool. That sounds like just a cool environment to make a film. And then the other elements like the floating light and other stuff, like those are the things that make me excited to make projects. This this other film project, it needs a bit more. It needs a bit more like inspiration to it, I guess. So I'm gonna get more work done on that. I'm gonna see if I can uh, refine it. It's also like I know that at a certain point I need to just commit and get it done. With some projects, I'm more willing to do that than with others. Like with the horror film as it stands, the one I'm working on right now, with that as it stands, I could make it. Like I could make it and it would be fine. Um, but I know it could be better. And if I know something can be better, if I feel like I could make it better with more time, I'm gonna hold off. And sometimes that goes badly. Sometimes I just keep on trying forever and it never gets better and then I give up. But other times it's like, oh, I'm happy with it. Let's ship it and do it as is. Like for some of the fiction stories, like sure I could do more, but like this feels like enough. With this movie, I need to get a little more in there. So I'm gonna do some brainstorming for that today. Um, what else is going on? I guess I can say I'm doing well. My job's been really fun, really fun, really tiring sometimes. Sometimes there are a lot of days that are like very busy, and then there are a lot of days that are very relaxed. So for me, it's like I know I kind of like to be either working or not working. And when I have a thing where it's like you go into work and then there's not really anything to work on, at least immediately, that's like, ooh, give me something, come on. Because then I'm gonna switch into not working brain, and once I'm in not working brain, then I can't switch back to work brain very easily. So it's like I need that constant like stream of stuff to do. Just keep me busy. If I'm working, keep me busy. Um, so, but it's good. It's been really fun. Lots of talking with people, which is good. I enjoy talking with people. I'm glad that that's my job. I'd rather that than a job where I'm sitting around just like in my room all day. Unless if it was a creative thing, I would love that. But even with creative projects, I like to bring other people in because I want to make it like a group thing. Like, oh, we did this together. Like I'll say yesterday, actually, I did Thanksgiving with a bunch of friends. My parents were not involved except in the planning. Actually, they did help plan, but it was all like people around my age, young adults who were doing the cooking, and that was such a fun thing. Just seeing like people come in to help with the cooking, help preparing these things, help make a turkey, which is not an easy thing to do. It takes a lot of work to make a turkey, but seeing other people getting involved with that and become part of the sense of accomplishment of like, oh yeah, we did this. That's such a cool thing. I want more of that. And so if I make another film, I want to bring people in and make them part of the process. And I also want to push people. I love pushing people, just getting them a little bit to go beyond their comfort zone. Like for this next film, I think it might take a bit more acting than first one. And the first one took acting, but like we kind of made it work without that much acting. This one I think might be a little more involved. you know, it's an opportunity. You gotta push yourself. You gotta try things that you're not completely sure you can do, because that's the only way that you, for one thing, discover your own limits, and for another thing, go beyond those limits once you've discovered them. It's an important thing to challenge yourself. So, yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. Lots going on, lots of projects, slow progress because, like I said, very busy. But I'm hoping to make like once a week be my projects day where I get a bunch of work done, whether I feel like it or not. Like I need to get work done, and I think that would be a really positive thing. So I'd love to do that. I'm gonna try and do that today. Today's my first like true project day. Um, we'll see how it goes. So yeah, I'll send another update. It would be cool to do this weekly. It would be cool. It's not gonna happen. I'll just tell you straight up, it's not gonna happen. Which actually means it might happen. See, the thing is, if I say something's gonna happen, my inner brain is then like, okay, it's not gonna happen. Or if I say something's not gonna happen, then I'm like, okay, it is gonna happen. Like here, I'll say like, I'm not gonna make a horror film in the next year. I'm not gonna make one. Actually, that's probably true. But like, saying that makes me more likely to actually do it. It's kind of weird how that works. I'm just rambling. Nothing new there. See you later. I'll give more updates as things change, as I have more to talk about. But yeah, that's all I've got to say for now. Uh, stay frosty, I guess. I don't know.